How's it going, everyone? With the PlayStation Plus, a premium and extra lineups officially revealed, want to go over 10 more games that are available that I would recommend you to play. Now, these are all like PlayStation 4 titles, or they're like remasters on PS4. You guys get the idea. Definitely some good stuff available and some surprising additions that I did see that I would highly recommend you to check out. Now, we already did a video looking at like first-party games. We also did a video looking at some other third-party titles, but now that we have the official lineup, I thought this would be a good idea, and we'll do this pretty regularly as I play more games, as more games are added, and I can recommend more stuff. I know some of you guys ask for like full reviews on games that are available. If you have any suggestions outside of the ones I mentioned here to do a review on, let me know. It's just with those games I want to go back, and if I did play it, I want to give it another playthrough just so it's fresh on my mind, and then I can do a quality review on it, so you guys get the deal. But let's get right into it. I knew that Batman Arkham Knight was going to be available in the lineup, but now we also know Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the Return to Arkham collection, are available in the lineup. And if you never played the Batman Arkham games, or maybe you played them back in 2009 when Arkham Asylum came out, whatever it is, these are fantastic games. And yes, Arkham Asylum is what, 13 years old at this point? I remember, you know, right before it was coming out, I don't think anyone really expected the game to be as good as it was, but man, it was a phenomenal game. Arkham City, I thought, was the best of the Arkham trilogy, but you should play all three Arkham games, and they're readily available for you on the PlayStation Plus catalog, so I would highly recommend you to check those out. Just great games. It's not like these editions are complete uplifts or anything like that, but they still hold up really strongly. Combat's great, story's great, and just a good buy all around. Next up, Mafia Definitive Edition. Gotta give this a recommendation along with Mafia 2 and Mafia 3, but mainly focusing on Mafia Definitive Edition here. Mafia 2, again, is available, and as is Mafia 3. It's interesting because Mafia Definitive Edition is listed under the Classics catalog, but this is a game that's a full-on remake of Mafia 1, and it's a fantastic crime story. The story of Tommy Angelo is just fantastic, and while it does have some, you know, not great gameplay moments, like the gameplay isn't completely refined for a 2020 audience, I believe is when it came out, and my god, that racing mission is just something that is an abomination. But outside of that, Mafia Definitive Edition is a great game that I would highly recommend. The story's great, and now that you guys have these plethora of games to play, you guys, if you're a subscriber, you have north of, you know, hundreds and hundreds of games at the tip of your fingers. But you also want to get some games that you can get in, you can play, have a good time with, and then you can move on to the next game, and Mafia Definitive Edition kind of offers you that. You know, we love our north of 100-hour RPGs, but those are the kind of games that make your backlog look a little bit daunting. Mafia Definitive Edition is a game that you can get in over the course of a weekend, have a good time with, and then move on to the next game, so I would give that a shout. Next up, want to also give a mention to Ghostrunner. Man, this is a game that definitely had some painful moments with, to say the least, when I played the game. It's a very, very difficult action platforming game, and I have to say that the action, it's very visceral, it's very satisfying, to say the least, but what I really enjoyed out of Ghostrunner was the platforming sections. I thought that was really well done, and if they ever made like another game that was just built around the platforming of Ghostrunner, I thought that would be great. Very reminiscent of Mirror's Edge. Story's pretty interesting. If you like the cyberpunk setting, that's something to note as well. Plays really, really well on PS5. This was a PlayStation Plus freebie not too long ago, so a lot of you guys probably just have it in your library through that. Otherwise, if you are a subscriber to one of the higher tiers, it's available in the catalog, so go check it out. Next up, we have Detroit Become Human. This is a game that, you know, Quantic Dream titles aren't for everyone, but they're definitely for me as somebody that likes decision-driven and story-driven titles. That, yeah, maybe a little bit lighter on the gameplay, but man, you can just get emotionally engrossed into the narrative of the game, and I thought Detroit Become Human did a great job with that. Great futuristic setting, and I always say this about these story-driven titles. Man, if you want to get a group of people together, yes, it's a solo title, it's a single-player game, but just watching Detroit Become Human unfold is a good time. And now with some of these story-driven games, they're adding multiplayer to it, so I find that kind of interesting, but Detroit Become Human is a great game. You know, I personally, my favorite game from Quantic Dream is Heavy Rain, and I believe that's in the catalog as well. Heavy Rain for sure shows its age, but Detroit Become Human holds up pretty well. I mean, it came out back in 2019, so we're not talking it's a decade-old game or anything like that, but high-quality title. If you're looking for something story-driven, definitely would give that a shout. Next up, Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. Man, this is a great addition to the library because this still holds up in price if you buy it digitally. It'll go on sale 50% off, but its MSRP is $50, so you're still paying a premium $25 for it. Well, now it's just available in the catalog, and FF12 is a game that came out, I want to say back in October of 2006, and I remember around the time it was coming out, it was a very big mixed bag in terms of reception. Like, some people, the critics loved it. I believe it's got like a 95 on Metacritic, the original PS2 version, but a lot of people did not like the combat style that is a little bit reminiscent of like how an MMO plays. But I really dug the combat system, and it looks like over time, like FF12 is now looked back on as a great Final Fantasy game. It's a game with a ton of content, a strong story with, albeit a relatively weak main character. I was not a big fan of Vaughn's story arc in the game, but there's other high-quality characters in the game. I like the system of the quickenings. I thought that was pretty well done, and overall, a pretty high-quality game, but this is one of those games that's gonna be a little bit of an undertaking if you're looking to do everything. Alright, another pair of JRPGs that I'm so happy is in the catalog. Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, Ys 9 Monstrum Nox. Ys is one of those super consistent JRPG franchise that every outing is a solid game, and Ys 8 is a great entry point to the franchise. Really, you can jump in with Ys at any point. Ys 8 is a fantastic title with a great story. You know, the gameplay is always pretty solid in the Ys games, and the soundtrack in these games are just so good. Ys 9, a little bit of a darker tone, but a very good game in its own right, and Ys 9 is a game, and Ys 8 for that matter as well. These games hold up in price. Ys 9, when it goes on sale, is like $42 or something like that. Ys 8, maybe you can get it for like $25, but those are high-quality JRPGs that are in the PS Plus catalog. So, strong shout to check out both of those, and Ys deserves more love as a JRPG franchise, but man, it's got a hardcore, core audience of fans that, keep these games going, and we're up to Ys 9, Ys 10 is gonna come around at some point, so good stuff all around with those two being in the lineup. Next up, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, another story-driven game, but this one definitely has more gameplay aspects to it as well. Very emotional game as well. This is a game that, one of the very few games that can make a man tear up. This Walking Dead Season 1 as well, but it's a great game, and another one that's a little bit on the shorter side, so if you're looking for a game that you can get in, have a very emotional, story-driven experience with, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is going to offer you that, but again, you can get in and get out. The narrative might stick with you for a while, but yeah, it's one of those that's not going to be a super big undertaking. Next up, I want to give a shout to XCOM 2. I know for a lot of people, these games might not be right up your alley. These tactics, strategy games, they're not up my alley either, but XCOM 2 is a game that I absolutely loved. I got into XCOM with XCOM Enemy Unknown, and I thought that game was fantastic, and XCOM 2 kind of builds upon that. Now, it is just the base game, which is a little bit of a bummer. There's some DLC, and most notably, the War of the Chosen expansion that's available for the game, but you'll get the base game. The shortcoming to XCOM 2 is, unfortunately, the performance is a little bit lackluster when you talk about on PlayStation 4, and I'm uncertain about the PlayStation 5 performance, but on PS4 it left a lot to be desired. Even when it came out initially on PC, it wasn't very good, so on PC it's definitely serviceable now, but definitely has its fair share of performance issues, which is a bummer, but still, if you're into tactics games, that is one to check out. And another one I just want to parlay with, if you want like something like XCOM, a tactical game, Desperados 3 is also a pretty nice addition to the library. I imagine this one is going to go a little bit under the radar, but this is a Western tactics-based game. Solid story as well, so if you want a tactics game of a different style, I would say Desperados 3 would be a good bet as well. And then lastly, this is a game that I often rave about, a game that I can constantly go back to, and now it's so easily accessible to all you guys. Dead Cells, of course, gotta give this a recommendation. Dead Cells is just a fantastic game, and I remember the buzz around this game when it came out back in August of 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And I started the game up, and I played for like 15-20 minutes, and I was like, oh, this game seems pretty simplistic, I get it. And then you just play more and more of it, and you realize that there's quite a bit of depth to it, and it's such an addicting game, and it's one that, again, I can constantly go back to, and I can have an enjoyable time with. I love the art style to this game, and if you're a fan of those roguelite, kind of Metroidvania-style games, Dead Cells is a great one. Obviously, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Hollow Knight is also available in the category, in the collection, excuse me. And I know a lot of people that love Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight Silksong is something a lot of people are excited for, so you can also check out Hollow Knight, but for me, Dead Cells is one that I can constantly go back to, and I've had a great time with it. There's some DLC available for Dead Cells as well, but you can jump in with the base game and have a fantastic time, and you can sink a lot of hours into Dead Cells. So bear that in mind as well, but a great game, and was very happy to see it as a part of the collection. So that's going to do it for me. Again, there's tons of games as a part of this Plus library, and more games are going to be added every month, so we'll probably do a refresh to this video, and I'm still figuring out how I want to tackle the games that are available in the lineup, but it seems like a lot of people are happy with it. I know some people are disappointed with the lineup. You know, some people had overly high expectations, but I think as far as value goes, there's a lot of good stuff that you can check out, and hopefully the consistent updates is going to be engaging, and hopefully they do add some stuff for the classics, because that seems to be the biggest point of contention for people right now, that the classics are just not there yet, especially with the PSP games. I know a lot of people were disappointed with not seeing like Crisis Core on there, but hopefully all that stuff will come in the coming months. But that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.